Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a 3-disc set of symphonic music by Johan Svendsen. His dates were, let's see what his dates were, 1840 to 1911. So he made it to the age of 71, which is not too bad, given the time period. He sounded like he never got past 1840 musically, quite frankly. His music is well, let's talk about it, shall we? And you'll get the sense. I find it frustrating. I really do. Some of it's quite lovely, but I do. He wrote 2 symphonies. Let's start at the beginning. Actually, he wrote 3, but apparently his wife threw one into the fire during a marital spat. It might not have been a bad idea, actually. Anyway, the 2 symphonies that we have are lovely, fresh, charming, conservative works. They're kind of like the Bizet Symphony in C goes to Norway, if you want to think about it that way. It was his first symphony that caused Grieg to, stop writing them, because Svendsen's really is much, much better. It's a fresh and appealing work. His second symphony is, just like the first symphony, a fresh and appealing work, but it builds on it in no particular way and does nothing especially new. I mean, it's nice. They're both nice. They're nice. It's very nice. If you're into niceness, this will be nice. No, they really are. They're good works. I don't mean to damn with faint praise in this case. The next disc contains like a bunch of tone poems and things. And here's where things get a little bit snoozeroonie. Well, first you get the Norwegian artist Carnival, Opus 14. That's charming. It's only 6 minutes. It's cute. And then you've got a bunch of like tone poems. He did a Romeo and Juliet. It is the dullest Romeo and Juliet you've ever heard in your life. Everyone else's Romeo and Juliet, and I mean everybody's, is better. I mean, there's Berlioz, there's Tchaikovsky, there's Constant Lambert, there's West Side Story, there's Prokofiev's. You could go pick your Romeo and Juliet. It's more interesting than this. See, Svendsen's style was just resolutely mid-19th century conservative. And it may be because he was mostly in Norway or wherever he was, doing whatever he was doing, and they didn't have the resources. I don't know. But stylistically, there is nothing very original there. So there's Romeo and Juliet and the Norwegian artist Carnival, and then the Carnival in Paris. The Carnival stuff isn't bad, except this one's 12 minutes long. Yeah. Then there are these like little tone poem things. One is called Zora Haida, Opus 11, 13 of the droopiest minutes you've ever heard in your life. Now, Zora Haida has a great story behind it. You see, Svendsen's wife was American. Her name was like Sally Levitt or something like that, and Jewish. And they were friends with Dick and Cosima Wagner. And apparently they hung out with the Wagners, and the 2 Wagners went to work on Sally, or whatever her name was, and over, several monotonous evenings of bridge and canasta, whatever they were playing, and Wagner's music and God knows what else, they nagged her into becoming Christian, which was fine. If that's what she wanted to do, that's what she wanted to do. But as a result of nagging her into becoming Christian, Sinding wrote this tone poem to celebrate her conversion and proved once and for all that it just wasn't worth the effort. I mean, not hers and not his. Zora Haida or whatever her name is, it's about a Muslim woman who becomes Christian. What could be more thrilling than that as the subject for a tone poem, you might ask? Well, it's nothing happens in it. It's just twaddle. It's absolute twaddle. Then there's a festival polonaise that's a festival in Polonaise-ish, and an andante funèbre, which is funerary, but not too much. Can't be that dark. And then there's this tone poem called Sigurd Slemby, which actually has this really gruesome story behind it, and it sounds just like Zora Haida. I mean, it's equally dull. It's absolutely awful. But then we get, actually 4 works that matter, the Norwegian Rhapsodies. Those are lovely. 4 beautiful, romantic, folkish, nationalist pieces that are extremely charming and worth listening to. So there you have it, the 3 discs with all of that stuff on it. And they're performed. It's all performed quite well by the Latvian National Symphony Orchestra under Terje Mikkelsen on CPO. So, as I said, Svendsen is just, he was a big fish in a little pond, a really little pond. And so for that reason, he has a reputation which I think is really much greater than he would otherwise deserve. Because Norway is desperate for composers who write in large forms. And until Halvorsen popped up, they really only had these 2 symphonies by Svendsen. And so they got relentlessly promoted or spoken of as more important than they really are, which made him more important than he really is. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to this. The Norwegian Rhapsodies are lovely, and the 2 symphonies are lovely. The rest of this stuff is just junk. I mean, really, really uninteresting. And these tone poems, they just go nowhere because Svendsen's orchestral style consisted principally of inhibitions. And, at the same time, you had, composers writing riotously colorful, wonderful, voluptuous, fabulous music. And this isn't anything like that. And it should have been. I mean, even Grieg was like 10 times more imaginative as an orchestral composer, even if he didn't write symphonies. There's nothing here that rises to the level of Peer Gynt, in my view. But the symphonies are nice, like I said, and the Rhapsodies are nice. You can get them separately. You might not want to get this 3-disc set to get the junk as well, and that's entirely up to you. But that's the story of Svendsen, folks. He's an on-again, off-again kind of guy. And I got to be honest and say, well, if you want the on-again stuff, just get the 2 symphonies, get the Rhapsodies, and forget the rest. That's the best way to do it, really. However nice this is, and it's very, very nice. So, keep on listening, friends. Thank you for joining me. Take care.